Alright, so thought I would try my luck on another video. We're out in the garden today and I am doing some planting. It is hot in Florida and I have had things growing inside. Here's some of the herbs that I have: parsley, fennel, dill, sweet basil, and thyme, and they're starting to wilt. So I just noticed this yesterday. So what I'm going to do is, it's totally savable, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to transplant these herbs into some of these perennial pots and tray, I guess. And what I did was, I've got a whole bunch of them from collecting, from buying different annual flowers. Always save your pots because they're very expensive to buy. And what I did was, I had this whole area planted with tomatoes, and these are my tomato plants, but this is all that I have left. This is all that survived because it's so hot outside in Florida. So I went ahead and I dug all my little guys up and I put them here in this tray, and I'm going to take them back inside, and they actually have some really nice roots on them, and I hate to take them back inside and change their temperature again, because we keep it about 75 in our house, and oh, it's probably 90 something outside right now. So anyway, I'm going to take these herbs and transplant them just like I did the tomatoes and take them all inside. And unfortunately, Avonlea and Lincoln's room, the dining room, and our schoolroom are going to be lined with trays for a while, but that's all I have. So I was kidding around with my husband. I said, I'm going to need a greenhouse, but an air-conditioned one versus a one that you have up north that you need for heat. This I'm so excited about. This is echinacea, and echinacea is actually an edible flower that if you grow it organically, you can use it in teas, all sorts of things. It's very good for your immune system. So I just took a kitchen salad bowl, which is not a good idea, but I took a bowl and I planted some of these seeds, and they're actually coming up, which is great, because usually you have to put them in a Ziploc bag with some damp cotton to try to sprout them. Uh-oh. This is my problem. No, you don't. Curious. So I'm going to transplant these echinacea, just what I'm doing right now, and I'm going to put these in the starter trays as well. And these little guys have been inside, so I'm just going to put them in the tray and then put them back in the house, so they're not going to have much of a temperature difference. Something that a friend of mine told me about the tomatoes is that he will put his in starter trays inside, and then he will actually take his tomatoes out. He gives them such tender, loving care. He'll take his tomatoes out and he'll put them outside for about an hour each day, and then he'll increase the time that he leaves his plants outside. You could do this for any plant, really, and then they adjust better. So one more thing to have to do during the day, but we're going to see if I can conquer it. Just a little tour. We used an old hammock netting here. Rob took down yesterday and said, hey, do you need this for anything? I said, sure, put it in the garden. So we've got a bunch of cucumbers, little babies. They look a little wilty, need to water today, growing in here. And in fact, these are all bush cucumbers, which are really yummy, and you can pickle them, so you can can them. I do have some beans. The last row here growing up along the trellis is beans. So those are going to be some pole beans, which are great. I've got some marigolds growing in here, which are a good defense for pests. So I'm going to have to figure out what to do with this other side, because I don't have any netting. Anyway, so over here is some aloe. I'm attempting a grape, so we'll see how it goes, but I already have pests, which usually if you look on the underside of leaves, sometimes you can tell who your culprit is, but I don't see anybody. Anyway, pineapples. Anytime I buy a pineapple at the grocery store, I chop off the top, and since we live in a tropical climate, we're zone 9, that would be a spider web I just walked into. We can grow pineapple here. So this one I've had for 2 years, and I'm hoping that maybe this next spring we'll get a top on that one and it'll come out. These are all younger ones, so not real sure if we'll get anything out of those. These are blackberries, so they're really pretty and they're growing really well. They're really healthy. And then these are some more cucumbers. I've got 2 little watermelon plants right there that are hanging on. They're not getting enough water. And the funniest thing, I've got these little tiny, I don't know if you can see them, tomato plants from the compost. The seeds that wind up in the compost are sprouting out all around here. And what's amazing is these are growing really well because the temperature difference, there's no temperature difference. When I start my seedlings inside to protect them, once they come outside, it's a big change, and so they don't do as well and they wilt. These are growing really good though. So I'm going to leave those in there until they get bigger, and then I'm going to transplant them back over to the bed with, that I'm going to grow my tomatoes on. So anyway, pretty cool. Sunflowers growing here. We'll see how tall they actually get. I have never had luck with sunflowers. They always grow so small. I mean, they bloom, but I never get any seeds out of them. These peas, another example of the heat difference, just how hot it is here in Florida. They're wilty. So these are just some maestro peas that I planted on the 26th. So we'll see how they do. I just watered them, so I'm hoping. I've got a bay tree here that I like to use in soups. You know how you make beef stew. This is a bay leaf, so all you would have to do is pluck one of these leaves off, throw it in your soup, and it'll give it a really good taste. Blueberry. These are some of my baby lettuce. Baby lettuce are coming up. I planted black-seeded Simpson, some red salad bowl, and this is the corn. Corn's coming up, and I'm so excited about this corn because it's so hard to find organic, non-genetically modified corn. It's just impossible. I've looked and I can't find it. So I'm so excited to grow our own, and I know that my seeds are non-GMO, and I know that I'm growing it organically. So if maybe 50% of these survive, which I'm probably gonna have to spread them out a little bit more, we'll have some good corn. Over here I planted carrots, but it takes carrots a little bit longer to pop up, so I'm not too nervous yet. And then, oh, these poor pumpkins. That's all I have left for my pumpkin. I've got one good one and another good one right there. And the blossoms, I think, have been eaten off by the squirrels. So actually, might be one on the end there, so we'll have to see. But there's one more row over here. Just I'm excited to see the onions are coming up. Little baby ones, I'm not sure if you can see. That's a baby onion there. And sometimes if you plant in rows, it's a lot easier to tell where your plants are because they'll actually grow in rows. Here's some more. Cute. I have a bean from my compost that just sprouted. So I'll transplant that little guy. And these are all carrots in here that I planted. I used popsicle sticks to tell me what kind. I did some Imperator or Imperator, however you want to pronounce it. Some Minicore, and oh, that's onion. We did a yellow sweet. So, and these are the potatoes. And what I'm gonna have to do is I need to get some more of my blue barrels, and I'm gonna take the potatoes and transplant them in because tomatoes actually grow up. So this potatoes, they actually need soil to continue going up their stalk, and as they continue to grow up, you add more soil to the top of it, and then the potatoes sprout from there. So potatoes don't actually grow down, they grow up. So you can't just throw a potato in the ground and expect to get much out of it. So these need to be transplanted as well, although I've never transplanted potatoes, so I'm not real sure how they're gonna do. But anyway, just thought I'd give a little tour today, and I'm gonna show you all what we've been up to. So have a good day. Bye.